whoever you want to be there, they can come. Right? We need to celebrate. This is going to be a party. We're going to have a good time. And so I'm going to ask Victoria. Victoria, come up. Yeah, I'm going to put you on the spot, Victoria. Victoria is our student body president. Give her a round of applause. And I want Victoria to be my model today of what's going to happen. And actually, let's get on this side because it's actually going to be on that side. There's some pictures they're going to show you about Balboa Park. And so you all are going to be kind of seated like now. Let's imagine we're actually in Balboa Park right now. So you'll be seated somewhat like you are right now. There'll be enough seats for everybody. You won't have to stand up there. And there will be someone who's going to call your name at the end of the stage. So Marciano, why don't you help me? And Victoria, you go with Marciano. So why don't you guys go to the speaker? So there will be name callers. 2 faculty members will call your name. There'll be a bunch of folks on the stage. And eventually, someone will call your name, Victoria! And then Victoria will walk up toward me. There's going to be a photographer, very similar to like Sean right there. Everybody say hi, Sean. It's going to be very similar to Sean. And so it's very important. I'm going to say, congratulations, Victoria. And we're going to look at Sean and take the picture. This is the most important thing on that stage.
Very simple, right?
Now I'm saying that now, some of y'all gonna walk right past me. Some of you guys gonna walk up and not know what to do. Some of y'all gonna try to fix your makeup. Some of y'all gonna try to fix your cap. But we got one shot at this. This is the most important. You wanna get a picture with me, right? No, I wanna get a picture with you. But the most important thing is you're gonna stop, you're gonna smile. I'm gonna say smile. Congratulations. Where are you going next year?
UCLA.
Oh, wait a minute, I thought you were going to UC Davis. What's up with that? We gotta talk. No, but you're gonna, so it'll be small talk. I'm gonna grab your hand. That's kind of to bring you in and make sure that Sean gets the picture. They're gonna be photographers. There may be 2 photographers. We'll stop here and then you'll walk off the stage. You can give Victoria a round of applause. You're done, Victoria, thank you. So don't forget that, right? So you're gonna have a name caller. They're going to stop. You're going to have a card. They're going to write your name phonetically because we want to say it how you want to say it versus how I would say it. And believe me, calling people's names is it's probably the hardest job that day. So you'll have a card that you'll write your name out phonetically, and then the card reader will probably ask you to whisper your name in their ear so that they can say it correctly. Then you'll walk up the stage. I'll be up there. I'll actually look like a college. There'll be thank you, Marcel. There will be our board of trustees. Those are the special people. They'll hand you your diploma cover. The real thing's not there. It'll come in a couple of weeks or months. We'll let you know. Some of y'all will call. We'll say it's coming. But they'll hand you one of these, and you'll walk up to me. I'll have a regalia on. I'll look like a college president that day, and we'll take a picture. The other thing I want to tell you, some of you all are going to buy a brand new pair of shoes, and by you all, you know who I'm talking to. This is not the time, unless you want to fall in front of 5,000 people, to buy those 3 or 4 inch stilettos or break in a new pair of shoes. Please be comfortable. Please be comfortable, because it happens, folks. And between taking a picture with me and walking down the stairs, we want to make sure you make it back to your family and not on YouTube or Instagram or Facebook, right? So please dress comfortably. We are so excited for you all. It is going to be a party. It's going to be a great day. Balboa Park is going to be a beautiful backdrop to have and celebrate the class of 2022. I'm going to bring up some other folks who are going to go over some details. This is an entire college supported event. There are volunteers. Please be nice to them. Please listen to them. Please follow directions. We have a couple other folks who are going to come up and talk more about what to expect that day. Am I introducing you, Marciano, or Don? Okay, so let me bring up our Vice President of Student Services, Marciano Perez, our acting dean, although I don't believe there's such a thing as acting, he is the dean of Student Affairs, Dr. Sanchez, and our very own Bree Kennedy, I thought, there she is, Bree, who is our director of our DSPS, our ABLE student program. Marciano? Whoa, before I go, are there any questions? Stop at the name caller, write your name phonetically on the card, hand it to the name caller, walk up, cheese with me, walk down the stage, and be a City College alumni. Again, congratulations to the class of 2022. I love questions, yes.
So I got the sheet with the lineup of the sign. What if a few of the signs are applicable to you? I was asking, with the signs that are on the sheet here, what if a few of the signs are applicable to you? Which one do you choose?
Great question. So you're gonna choose the sign that you want to identify the most with, right? So because you only get to march in once, you can only be in one place. So some of you are actually going to have to make some choices. You might actually fit in 3 or 4 different categories, and so it just really depends on, do you want to be with my friends? Do I want to be towards the front? Do I want to be towards the back? So we will not turn anyone away, but you'll get to choose which line you're at. Yes.
What time do we need to be there?
Great question. She said, what time do they need to be there? And we're going to go through that. So I'm going to hold that question off until so we can get through that one. Anyone else? All right, we'll get started and we'll tell you all this great information.
All right. Welcome again, everyone. Thank you all for coming. I know we took chairs, but we definitely did not take enough for all of you. So thank you very much for coming. Please feel free to get in the shade. Okay, I know there's still a few chairs in there. If you can raise your hand and let people know if there's a chair next to you. But please feel free to get in the shade so that you don't get a lot of the sun. Again, my name is Adan Sanchez. I'm currently serving as the acting dean of student affairs here at San Diego City College. And it's a very exciting time to be here with all of you as you're getting ready, not just for commencement next Thursday, but as Dr. Chavez mentioned, it's our first time doing it in person in a couple of years. So we're very, very excited about that. It's 4 years ago was the last time that we were at Balboa Park. So you all get to experience that once again for the folks who haven't been able to do it for the last few years, okay? So thank you again. Today, really what we're hoping to do is go through a little logisticals, things that you need to know the day of, prior to the day of, what to expect during the ceremony. Dr. Chavez already gave you a walkthrough of the what you're going to be doing on stage, right? And then also all the details about where to park, what time to be there, all of those things, okay? So we'll be able to go through all of those pieces. The 3 of us, again, I want to emphasize it, that you hear it. Commencement's not going to be here, okay? Commencement will be at Balboa Park at the Oregon Pavilion. We're just getting together here today because we wanted to welcome you back to campus. Many of you, it's been a long time since you've been on campus. Many of you, this is maybe your first time on campus because of the pandemic. So we wanted to bring you to campus, make you feel at home, because as Dr. Shava mentioned, you are now one step closer to being an alumni, and we are excited to build a relationship with you as an alum of City College, okay? So again, Thursday, May 26th, the ceremony starts at 5 p.m. However, we are highly encouraging you and your families and guests to be there between 3 and 3:30, especially you all, to check in, okay? There's gonna be 5,000 plus people there, and that's just for this graduation. That does not count all the regular folks who are coming to Balboa Park on Thursday afternoon. So even though there's a lot of parking options near the Balboa Park, we are encouraging you to plan on another 20 to 30 minutes to get into Balboa Park, to find parking, and then walk or make yourself go towards the Oregon Pavilion, okay? So plan an extra 20 to 30 minutes from when you are driving on Park Boulevard to turn into Balboa Park, okay? We cannot stress that enough. And then just like today, even though the event is outdoors, we're still, using masks, okay, at the event, just like today, and the same with your guests, okay. Please, we'll have masks accessible at check-in, but please, it's something that we still want to make sure that we emphasize, as we want to make sure that all of you, your guests, all of us are safe at the event, okay? When you first get there, you will check in. That should be one of the first things that you do. You can, of course, take pictures, take it all in, but check-in is the first thing that you want to do. So if you're looking at the organ pavilion of the stage, the check-in for all of you would be at the left side, okay? So it's the east side, but also if you're looking at the stage, it's gonna be on the left side. Then there you'll be able to check in by last name, and that's when you're gonna receive a card. The card that will have your information, including the phonetics that you added onto the registration form that you all have submitted and while you're here, okay? If for some reason you don't know what I'm talking about, at the check-in table over there with Robin, she has a QR code of the form, but I am almost 100% sure that all of you have completed it, and that's why you're here, okay? But that's the card that you will receive that you're gonna keep for the entirety of the time until you get into stage. That's gonna have your information, and then it's gonna have to say your name phonetically so that we do your name justice in terms of how to say it, okay? Let's see. We will begin lining up and getting everyone ready to go on stage around, we'll ask everyone to start lining up at 4 o'clock, okay? But we're gonna start walking out of that section between 4:30 and 4:40 because we have to make some turns to get to the opposite side of the stage so you can walk through the middle of the crowd, okay? So again, we encourage you to be there 3 to 3:30 because of traffic and everything, but just know that we're gonna start lining up at 4 o'clock. And it is on a first come, first served basis. So if you get there first, you will be at the front of that section. If you get there a little later, you will just continue to get there, okay? So we encourage you to go to the restroom before you line up, okay? There will be some restrooms across the way accessible for you. I think that's it for that. Also, the program will be uploaded into the graduation website. So sdcity.edu/graduation. That's where the program will be uploaded, so you'll have it in advance, and also for you guests to have it the day of or even before. I heard that we're gonna try to upload that to the website later on this week, so that way you have it. We're trying to again be sustainable and not be wasteful with the paper, and so we're gonna have the QR code along the way as well the day of, where you guests yourselves can do it, okay? We'll have a very limited number of copies because we also want to be mindful that not everyone has a smartphone, and so we are going to have a few printed copies the day of, okay? Please know that graduation is considered a public event, so any image that will be taken at the event, it's something that we as a college are going to use because we want to highlight your experience at the commencement. So just know that that is something that as a public event is going to happen. And so we'll be able to use any images from the event for future marketing of graduation and anything related to City College. And as always, Cesar, Kim, and their team in social media want to make sure that we capture you as well in social media. So the hashtag that we're going to be using is SDCityGrad. So SDCitygrad. Okay. We want to make sure that you build a campaign of pictures that we want to use and reuse with all of you. So please make sure that you tag San Diego City College and use that hashtag. And then again, we have the cover over here that you will receive the day of. You will not be receiving your actual diploma. Okay, that is something that the college and the district after the spring semester ends, they have to look through all of the requirements that you did. They will confirm that you completed all the requirements, and at that point, they will be mailing you your diploma. So it is very important that you check that we have your most updated mailing address, okay? Because if not, then it's going to be mailed to whatever mailing address we had before you. So if you recently moved, or you even just want to double check that in the last, that we have the correct address, please check that as that the diploma will be mailed to that address, okay? I think that's it for me for now. VP Perez is going to go over a little bit more on what to share with your guests.
Thank you. Are you all excited? Yes. All right. So I know that was a lot of information, but we really, again, want to make sure that you are prepared and that you prepare your guests for what to expect when they arrive at the park. This is an exciting time, folks. Like I am telling you, when you get to the park on Thursday and you look at how beautiful our facilities folks have transformed the Oregon Pavilion, you are going to be in awe. If any of you have not seen it, look at the pictures that are up here, but it does not do it justice until you're actually there and you take in like just the magnitude of that space. And then you see everybody walking in with their caps and gowns, and you see all the guests who are all with, sitting there waiting on you to arrive. It is a magnificent moment. And we want it to go smooth for you, and we want it to go smooth for your guests. So here's some things for you all to know. As Adnan mentioned, it's important for folks to arrive early for parking. Make sure you let your guests know that as well. Sometimes the graduates will arrive earlier, and then their guests are going to come a little bit later. So just remind them, as he mentioned, that they should expect to have to park in one of the lots. That we don't have the lots reserved for just us. The Balboa Park is open to the public, so there'll be other folks that will be trying to park there. So it'll be important for them to give themselves some time to do that. Bree is gonna cover guests with disabilities, so I'm not gonna go over that. But just know that there, folks, guests with disabilities, there's gonna be, along with one accompanying adult, may sit in our accessible seating designated area that she'll cover. Again, by City of San Diego ordinance, balloons are not allowed at Balboa Park. So please, please, please tell your guests not to bring balloons. They will actually have folks that are stationed around the entrance to the Oregon Pavilion, and if they walk with balloons, they're going to ask them to walk back to their car. So depending on where they parked, they're going to go all the way back to put the balloons down there because they don't want it to interfere with the view, but also because Balboa Park, if you've gone there, they actually have signs everywhere that says no balloons. So make sure that your guests know they can save the balloons and give it to you afterwards when you are back in your car or back at home or wherever it is that you're going to go and celebrate. But no balloons at the park. Again, make sure that folks, remind them about locking up their valuables in their cars and things like that. The college bookstore is also selling graduation rings and frames and mementos and gift items. So if you've not visited the bookstore, how many of you picked up your cap and gown already?
We're good.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's a good number.
Thank you so
So
much.
for those of you that have not picked them up, remember that they're free. You must order them online so that they know that you're coming. You can go to the bookstore, show your ID, and pick them up there. But it's important that you all know that in order to participate in the ceremony, you must have a cap and gown. Okay? So, and what does it mean to have a cap and gown? It must be on you, and it must be zipped. Okay? So we say this, as Ricky mentioned earlier about everybody gets the really nice shoes and you want to show it off. Sometimes people are like, I just want to show off this beautiful new dress or this shirt that it needs to be zipped. All right, so you can show them the beautiful dress and stuff afterwards. But when you're walking across the stage, this is a tremendous honor that you are getting. You're receiving your diploma from San Diego City College, something that you've really worked for. There's a kind of a formality and a regalness to the ceremony. And part of that is that folks, the regalia is zipped up. You're gonna see all the faculty in their regalia. And there's something about that moment. And so it's important for you all to know that you would be expected that your regalia is zipped up and ready to go. And so now I'm gonna turn it over to Bree, who's gonna go over a little bit about her section.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you. Hello, everyone. We are super excited for you and your families to experience a wonderful celebration, as it is an honor to celebrate this milestone with all of you. We at City College have worked really hard to ensure that this event is accessible to all of our graduates and all of our guests, including guests with disabilities and graduates with disabilities. So with that being said, there are a few things that I'd like to note. Particularly, I'm going to start with the families. So if you have any family members that have, or guests that have physical disabilities, limitations with mobility or walking, standing for long periods of time, or who are deaf or hard of hearing, we have reserved an accessible seating section for those guests. It will be for the one guest with a disability and another family member, another person, plus one more adult. We don't have room for the whole party to sit there, otherwise it would take up all the seating real quick. This is a first come, first serve section as well. It will be located to the right front of the stage, but it is first come, first serve. So if you do have a guest that's going to be joining you that will need to sit in that area, please also have them arrive early, or you can have another family member arrive early to get the seat for them. Okay, let's see. This section will also have the best view for our ASL interpreters. We will have sign language interpreters, and I'm not sure if we mentioned, but the graduation will also be live streamed. Yes! So that's super exciting because we have family members that are, in other places. They can watch you live. Also, if you have family members that maybe coming to the actual graduation is a little too long or maybe inaccessible for them, they can also view you live stream as well. So that's another option. In addition to the accessible seating section that I mentioned, we also will have a screen with the ASL interpreters and captioning that's viewable to the guests that are sitting in the back left-hand side of the pavilion. So that is another seating option for folks that are wanting to get kind of close to a screen to see a little bit more VIP seating. So that is an option as well. Let's see. There also will be limited accessible parking spots, but as VP Perez mentioned, it could be a longer walk for some folks, especially depending on what time you get there. So if your guest does need to be dropped off, there will be a designated drop-off section, but then they will have to go back and park in the, of course, available parking sections. So basically, moral of, I think, everyone's story today is make sure you arrive early and plan ahead, right? The other thing I wanted to mention about the shoes, I like to wear high heels because I'm very short, if you have not noticed. However, in addition to falling across the stage, you will be standing for long periods of time. We mentioned the line starts at 5, lineup is at 5, so 4. So at 3:40 to 4, you're going to be standing all the way until the ceremony begins. So keep that in mind as you plan your shoes as well. Let's see. Okay, we covered accessibility for guests. Now let's chat about accessibility for graduates. I know all of you, I think because you're here, you did fill out the form online, and we did have an option for you to share with us any disability-related accommodations you might need for graduation. There are some limitations. There's some stairs and alternative paths that we might need to help students with if there are mobility limitations. So we do want to know that in advance, and we will email you the beginning of next week to reach out so we can coordinate and make sure you feel good about whatever the game plan is, so that you can fully participate in the ceremony as well. And let's see. We also will have a section in the front of the grad lineup for our Delta Alpha Pi, that's our Disability Honor Society members and Disability Club members. So that'll be at the front of the graduation lineup as well. And I think that's it. Thank you so much, and we look forward to seeing you at graduation.
Thank you, Bree. A couple other things. One, in terms of parking, is going to be crazy. It's going to be bananas. One of the options that is available to you is come park at City College and catch an Uber up, or even walk up, but it's going to probably be hot at that time of day. There are only 3 or 4 lots up there. Please also note that if you want your family to sit together and to actually be able to be seated, they're going to need to get there very early, because there are not 5,000 seats at Balboa Park. There's probably only seating for what? Yeah, for about 25 to 26, 2,800 we're going to have about 5,000 people there, right? And so it'll kind of be like we are today, times about 10, right? People will be able to sit down, then the rest of the crowd will be standing. So if your family wants to sit down, they need to get there super early. There will be a step and repeat there for you to take pictures with your family, with your friends who are graduating. So there'll be an opportunity to take pictures there as well. How many of you all have not been to the Oregon Pavilion? It's okay. I would suggest that when you leave here today, just go ahead and drive up there so you can get a sense of where the parking lots are, where the actual area where commencement is going to be, because it's going to be a walk. There will not be parking. You'll be circling the lot 2 or 3 times. I can tell you, I'm going to park here and I'm going to get in an Uber. It's like $6 to get there and not even have to deal with the parking. I'll get let out right where the commencement is going to occur because there is not 5,000 parking spots up there. Now it's beautiful. It'll be amazing, but there is no parking up there. So, plan accordingly. Questions? Yes. All of the lots are open, and we are not ticketing, so you don't need to buy a parking permit. Parking is free at Balboa Park as well, but there is no parking. But you can park at any of the lots that we have on campus. Thank you for that question. I thought I saw another hand. Yes. Yeah, it'll come up on the app. So I happen to Uber all over downtown San Diego because parking sucks. So depending on where I'm at, like if I'm here, the Uber normally will pick me up right there. If I'm near the library, what is that? B Street? There's a number of places, just depends on where you park, but it'll come up on the app. It'll be very close to wherever you are. Yes, sir.
Will we line up in ABC or number order?
So we should talk lineup real quick. That's a great question. The question was, how do you line up? Is it ABC order or whatever? So as someone mentioned, there are going to be these. You're going to see these stanchions, signs that are there, and they have different categories on there. Like there's one for nursing students. So all the nursing. Where are my nursing graduates? Are they here? No, because they're probably at the hospital working, where they should be. All right. Cosmo, is Cosmo folks here? Right here. So there'll be a section for Cosmo students. You're going to see one that's for the different honor societies. So like, as we mentioned, Delta Alpha Pi, PTK will be there, Psi Beta. There's one that says athletes, and then there's ones that will say graduates, and they'll have like associate's degrees, and then at the on the other one they'll say certificates. Right? So you'll go there and you'll line up based on whatever category that you feel that you belong to, right? There's no one there with a list that checks to make sure, right? So if your best friend is an athlete and you want to be with your best friend, you could stand in the line with athletes and be next to them. Now, I get this question all the time, and folks say, if I want to sit next to my friend, what do I need to do? And the answer is that you must be standing either in front of them or behind them in the line, because we form 2 lines. So as you get towards the pavilion, what's going to happen is the lines are going to break up. So if Bree and I are besties and we're like, oh, we're so excited because we're going to sit next to each other, and we get up there, she's going to have to go that way, I'm going to go, and then we start crying because we're like, no, I really wanted to be. And then Bree's going to try and beg somebody to come over here, and it just slows up everything, and it throws off the folks that are counting, because we're counting seats to make sure that we have enough for all the graduates. So if you want to be with your friend, please stand either in front of them or behind them, okay? That's the way to guarantee that they are in the same row as you or sitting next to you. But we will not be doing it in alphabetical order. That's why you have the cards. So when you come up to the stage, and as Adan mentioned, each of you will get a card. Please put the card in your pocket, put it somewhere safe. I can't tell you how many times folks get to the front and they're like, the card. I gave it to my sister. I gave it to mom and dad, and then like scrambling trying to find the card, right? So you need to have the card with you because that's how we call your name. So you don't want to be up there and then they're like, I have no name to call, right? And like, blank person, and they walk through, right? So you want to make sure you have your card because that's also the card that the photographer collects when they take your picture so that they know who you are when you're ordering your pictures, right? So they'll have your name on there so you can search for your name and it'll tell you you can search for your picture. So make sure that you keep the card with you, that you don't, I've seen some of them get up there and I can't even read them because they've been crumbled because of nerves and they start doing that stuff with it. So don't do that. Put it somewhere so that they can actually read it. And as Ricky mentioned, the readers, we have 4 folks that are going to be reading. We have 2 faculty and 2 of our classified professionals who have volunteered to do this. And as Ricky mentioned, this is a hard job when you're reading names that you have not seen and you get nervous because no one wants to butcher someone's name, right? And there's some, for me, I say this all the time, names matter, right? I can't tell you, my name's Marciano, but I can't tell you how many times I go someplace, people are like, Americano? I'm like, no, not the drink, like Marciano.
There's a drink called Americano.
The Americano from Starbucks. So I'll get Mercutio or Mauricio, I get all kinds of stuff. So if I'm graduated and I've worked towards that, I want somebody to say Marciano, right? So it's important for you all to phonetically spell your name, whisper it to them if you have a name that you know is often mispronounced, whisper it to them and let them know so they can get it right. They want to call your name correctly. So you will not be hurting anyone's feelings if you're like, this is the way you pronounce my name, all right? They can get used to it. So again, when you're coming across the stage, remember that there's 2 stops that you're gonna make. You're gonna make one with the Board of Trustees, where you're gonna shake their hand and they're gonna receive the diploma cover, and then the important one, when you go on this side and you meet with the president and get the fancy picture with the college president. So you'll stop twice. Again, it's important for you to stop, and as Ricky mentioned, look at the audience. People are trying to take your pictures. No one wants to get a picture if you're doing this, right? Or looking at your shoes or any of this stuff. You want to look forward, because this is your picture. This is what you're going to show, and this is what's going to be on our website too. So, question there.
Give us one second. Is Lucia here? Lucia or Jeanette? Lucia or Jeanette are not here, but we have 2 students who are going to be on the platform who essentially are going to be your speakers. Lucia is a East Village high school student. I don't know if you all know it, but we have a high school on campus, and for the first time that we know of, one of the students is graduating with not just 1, not just 2, but 3 associate's degrees and her high school diploma at the same time. So she'll be part of the platform party. And then Jeanette is a transfer student who won the most prestigious scholarship for any community college students. Thousands of students apply. A city college student actually won it. It's called the Jack Kent Cooke Scholarship, and she is going to receive $55,000 toward her education, to include also a master's degree. So let's give those students a round of applause, even though they are not here. Sorry, thank you for letting me do a commercial. Yes.
When we get ready to take pictures or come on stage, do we take our mask off?
You can take your mask off as soon as you leave your seat and get in line to come up on the stage. Absolutely. And while, let me be clear also, masks are not required. They're advised because, folks, COVID is real and we're seeing a higher increase with this latest strain. And so we want to make sure that we're all doing our part, because getting COVID is not, it sucks. So the mask is not required. It's highly recommended, and certainly when you get in line to come on the stage, you can take your mask off to get the photo. Nobody wants to take a photo with the mask on. The other thing I was thinking, some of you all are going to get your hair done, and it's going to be on point, it's going to be beautiful, but you're going to have a heck of a time keeping that hat on. So please plan accordingly, because that's the other thing we see happen, is that the hats don't make it up. We will still take your picture. That it has nothing to do with the process, just we don't want you to lose your hat. Other questions? Yes, and then we'll come to you.
Okay, I haven't gotten my cap and gown. What do I gotta do to get it?
So you haven't gotten your cap and gown, how do you get it? So you go online, and order it from the bookstore, or you can just go to the bookstore, make sure you have your student ID, and they will make sure that you're on the list, and they will give you your cap and gown. Yeah, and the bookstore, for folks don't remember, is right down the stairs here.
Will they be open after we finish, or are they?
I believe that they close at 4 today, or 4:30. So yes, you should have time today. Yeah, there's some things that they're out of, and that they've ordered, the sashes and things like that, but they do have the caps and gowns, so they should have that, and they are going to get a new order of things. So you can ask them if you're looking for a specific sash, you can place an order and they'll tell you when it's going to come in.
And I see the hands, all great questions. Let me also say that we are gifting you those cap and gowns. No other class of students at San Diego City College have received their cap and gowns for free. And so that is our gift to you all, as well as these alumni shirts that we're hoping are going to get here at some point. There was a question over here. Yes?
Can we decorate our caps or wear like necklaces?
You missed the competition? How much did somebody win for decorating their cap the other day? Yes, you can decorate your cap. There was actually a competition the other day, and there was a contest, and there were gifts and.
Yeah. So I mean, if you didn't get the information or you didn't get to make it, but sorry about that. But definitely you can decorate it. We actually still have the materials at the Student Affairs office, which is just right over there. Please stop by. We have the everything for you to decorate it, the top part.
And we look forward to that. Like, we take pictures. Kim's going to take pictures of them. They're going to wind up on the website. You share. Yes, please decorate your. I did it. All whatever. I was going to go, but I don't. Yes.
We do have any veterans in the group here? Veterans, perfect. So for you veterans, this is your sash that you're going to get. So if you go to the Veterans Center. Actually go to Admissions and Records because the Veterans Center is closed. We're doing some remodeling work in there. But if you are a veteran, you will get this from the Veterans office in the Admissions and Records. So they'll give you your cord. So make sure that if you're a veteran, that you go there and pick that up.
And definitely thank you for your service, all of our veteran graduates. I think I saw some hands up here. Yes?
What time it ends?
So I'm going to try to get you all in there and out of there. Really depends on the number of students who show up. We're going to have somewhere between 500 and 600 students. Of course, there's some formalities that we have to go because it is a college, and we have to say those who are high honors, and we're going to say the veterans and foster youth and we're going to go through all of the groups. There are some speeches that are going to be given. It's probably going to be about a 3+ hour, 4-hour event. Yes, because everyone who graduated gets their time to walk across that stage and be acknowledged. So it just depends on how many students actually show up, because every year somebody also shows up with a regalia that didn't tell us that they were coming. But it is about a 3 to 4 hour process to get 500 or 600 people across that stage so that their family can get those photos. Thought I saw, yes.
Regarding I think it's called
Sash or regalia?
The
Stole. There's a lot of different things that people are going to have that day. There's regalia, which is the cap and gown. There's a stole, which can be you were in a program like a Moja or Puente or a host of others. Those programs give those out. And they had days, or they are having days, depending on what program, that they are giving them out. So if you are in a program, you should reach out to the coordinator of that program, and they will make arrangements if you didn't come to the event where they pass those out. Like Emoja had theirs yesterday. I don't know when Puente had theirs, but does that answer your question?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
My mom went ahead and made me one. Are we allowed to wear all?
You can, yes, absolutely.
Okay. Thank you.
Other questions? Yes. And then I'll come up here. Sorry, the pole was blocking you out. You're next. Dogs are allowed in Balboa Park. They will not be allowed for you to come on stage. However, it is not uncommon, because we have programs like CalWorks and EOPNS Care, that if you want to walk across the stage with your son or daughter, you are able to do that. Not that I'm not a dog lover. Service animals are, Bree is telling me. Yes.
My question would be, because I received the email to come here today, but there's some classmates that are graduating as well, but they didn't get the email. So is there a reason for?
Yeah, so her question was, she got an email to be here, but she has classmates that did not get the email to get here. So remember that folks need to apply for graduation. So if they didn't apply for graduation, they wouldn't be on our list to invite to come to these things. So it's important for folks to petition to petition to graduate. And then when we got that list, Adon and his team sent you all the separate link to say, you are on the list to graduate. If you're going to participate in the ceremony, fill this out to come here. So they may have missed a step.
And then also, again, just in case, because of that, we have on the check-in table over there, we have the QR code for the form, the online form, where you're going to tell us that you're coming, and that's where we ask information about accessibility and how to pronounce your name and things like that. So if they don't have it, you know, you can, you know, do the QR code and send them that link.
Thank you.
Yes.
Is there like a dress code or like for guests or for graduates at all?
Yeah, so the question was, is there a dress code for the guests and the graduates? For the graduates, you must have regalia on, as we already talked about, dress comfortably underneath. It gets hot under those robes, so you know I wouldn't wear a three-piece suit if I was one of you guys in there, because it gets really warm. And you have to think, we start at 5, and it's now what? So it's 4 o'clock and the sun is still out. So it starts to cool off as we go. You get close to 6, 7, 8, like it'll start to cool down. But when you're first in this, it's a little bit warm and the sun is out. So just dress comfortably. Your guests, I would say the exact same thing. You know, they're going to be sitting out in the sun. There is no shade in the middle of, if you've been to the Oregon Pavilion, it is completely open. There is no shaded areas there. So they will be in the sun. Make sure that they know that, you know, wear a hat, sunscreen, bring a bottle of water. No umbrellas, because we don't want them to block the view of other folks. Unless they're going to stand in the back in the standing room section, they can have their umbrella there. Same reason we don't do the balloons. Yes.
So the question is, since it's actually not random, there is a method to the madness, but there are people who are in multiple programs, and so the graduation is based on programs and not major. So you'll be able to go in the program that you're in. If you're not in a program, one of the programs is I'm graduating an associate's degree, or I'm graduating with a certificate, which by default becomes a program. And then there is a card that you fill out that will have the information on it that will tell the person who is reading your name, Marciano Perez in Mesa, graduating with an associate's degree in biology, transferring to UC Riverside. And that'll all be on the card that you're going to pass to the person who's going to read it. There will be volunteers that day will help you get into the correct placement in line. There will be tons of people who are volunteering that day to help you get in the right location. So there, when you get there, I promise you, you'll tell a volunteer. If you didn't stop by the check-in booth, there's a little card that has that information on it. Ask the person at the card. We promise you that it'll be very simple when you get there. There will be people with signs that say which program you're in, and you'll get to decide which program you want to go with, whether you're in that program or not. As the example we use, your friend's an athlete, you're not an athlete, but you want to go with the athletes because your friend is there. There was a hand here, yes.
Yeah, great question. So the question was, if you have multiple degrees, how is that listed on the card? So the program actually will have your name, and all the degrees that you're associated with are going to be in the program. So you don't have to worry about all that. We've done that. It's based on what you've petitioned to graduate with, like what your ed plan is. So sometimes folks are like, that's not right. That's not the time. The graduation ceremony isn't that, because again, we're not awarding a degree at that time. We're saying that this is what you are petitioning for. So it might change. Some folks, like we get a lot of folks that are like, I'm graduating honors, but it's not listed on there. We can fix it on the back end, but just know that when we're pulling the information, we're getting it from the district office of what you petitioned and what's in the system at that time. And then once you finish your finals and everything and the verified grades, they'll update that. So if you've earned a different certificate or a different degree, or you now have honors, your transcripts will show that. Yes.
When can we go to student affairs to use this stuff to graduate our caps? Like what days and times? And where is that office?
Starting tomorrow. You can go today. But we have it in the office. It's just right if you go down the stairs or the elevator. It's M200. And so you can stop by any day. We'll be open every day until Wednesday.
What are the hours?
8 to 6.
Thank you.
Fridays until 1.
Any other questions? All right. Oh, one more here.
If we bring like a bag or a purse with us, where do we leave it when we line up?
The question was, if you bring a bag or a purse, where do you leave it when you line up? So you can leave it on your chair, because you're going to come back to the same chair that you're in. I always tell folks, if you can avoid having something to carry around, it's just one more thing. Sometimes you get nervous and you're just like, because you're all excited, people are taking pictures, and then now you're going to have this purse, you're going to keep handing it to people. So if you have someone at the park that can hold it until you're done, but we know that sometimes folks like a little something, for your lipstick or your lip balm or whatever, your bottled water, you can leave it on the seat underneath you. All right.
Yeah, so again, congratulations. We'll stick here for those of you who still have questions. Sometimes people want to ask questions and not ask it in front of everyone. There's no question that we wouldn't love to be able to answer for you. If you did not get your cap and gown, I would highly suggest you go down to the bookstore and make arrangements to get them. If you came late and you did not check in at the check-in table, that is to my right, your left, there is information. There's a card there. There's a staff member there that can also answer questions for you. Congratulations to the class of 2022. We will see you all next Thursday.